Welcome to Between Two Pastries, a not-so-typical nutrition podcast. Nicole and Annie are licensed and registered dietitians. Join them as they discuss hot nutrition topics, challenge popular beliefs, and have a blast doing it. Here are your hosts, Nicole and Annie.
All right. As the cheering is going.
Yeah.
I know. Welcome to Between Two Pastries. This is Nicole.
Hey everyone, it's Annie.
Today we are talking about, we're trying to figure out how to label this. So we're just going to call it diet type foods, but we're talking about a lot of different things. So what we mean when we say that, I think what we mean first of all is we want to talk about all this stupid, like, quote-unquote diet type of ice creams. We want to nail that one super, super bad. But what we're kind of talking about is, like, diet dressings and
mayos.
We talk about bread. That's right, bread that is considered light.
Yogurts.
Oh, gosh, the yogurt thing.
Basically, I mean, so the topic came because I was like, I'm really sick of hearing people eating pints of Halo Top ice cream. So that's how this thing all started. And then we wanted to develop it into something more. But I think we need to start with, here, let's identify we have regular full nutrient foods. I don't want to say full fat foods because some foods might be modified but don't have fat to begin with.
Yeah, let's talk about
it.
So
just regular foods. Then you have light foods.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have non-fat foods.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think there's this new subcategory that's been created.
Of just chemically derived.
Yeah. I mean, all these people talk about, I don't eat processed foods and I don't eat GMOs and I'm organic, and they're sitting there with their pint of Halo Top.
Right.
Eating a science experiment.
Right.
So, like, beyond non-fat, now you've got science experiments.
Right. That messes with your GI tract like mad crazy.
Oh, mad crazy. So those are the four areas. And so starting with, like, regular food, that's going to be like we said, bread.
Yeah.
You've got bread.
Mm-hmm.
So white bread, wheat bread.
Right.
Basically all of your
sprouted grain breads, huge fan of.
All of your grocery store breads, unless they say thin.
Yeah, thins
or light.
Like
what else? I've seen those two. Those are the two that are coming to mind right now. When you see something is thin or light, it's modified in a way that it's chemically altered and likely nutritionally altered.
Right. I think that's a good way of putting it in general. And so therefore, mostly, it's nutritionally altered. So therefore, again, kind of thinking about the type of quality of nutrition that you want to take in. Do you want to create space for something that's been so altered? So you're buying a product, you're putting your energy into the product, and that product is not giving you really anything back in return.
Nothing.
I mean, you can think about it that way, right?
I mean, if you're at a friend's house or whatever, and all they have to make your sandwich is a light slice of bread or light English muffin or thin whatever, use it, right? Like, we're not going to do that, but like, we have to be flexible, but let's not make that our product of choice, especially when it's $3.99 for, whatever product it is. Like, you could go outside and lick the ground and do a better job nutritionally.
I think that's kind of the point that we're trying to make. So this all kind of came up over conversation because of how we're finding with our clients even that they'll buy these particular products and they'll still remain completely unsatisfied, or they'll want to eat more of that. Instead of just having like a serving of real ice cream and just enjoying that, they will need to eat the whole Halo in order for something to actually compute in their brain that they consumed what they were looking for.
Right. I mean, the body knows when it wants macronutrients, when it wants carb, protein, and fat, and it knows what carb, protein, and fat look like.
Right.
and how it breaks down. And so when you disguise something that's, for example, ice cream, when you have Ben & Jerry's ice cream, your body knows how to break that down. It knows to say, wow, this is satisfying. I'm good.
Yeah.
And then it has something like Halo Top, and you eat it, and you just are constantly searching. Your body's searching for those signals, and it's not getting it. But I want to make a point here, because we're going to have people in the population that say, well, but when I get Ben & Jerry's, I eat the whole pint. Well, right, because you're denying yourself ice cream since when?
On a regular basis.
Right.
Correct.
You have to have all of these quote-unquote forbidden foods that you've created within your mind on a regular basis. I promise you won't gain weight.
Right.
When you have ice cream or peanut butter or pizza or whatever is forbidden to you regularly, now all of a sudden we take away its power, and when we eat it, we can just have a serving.
Yeah. Right.
So you see memes and refrigerators all full of Halo Top. Why are people still going that direction? I mean, are there people out there that don't know that like Ben & Jerry's or Haagen-Dazs is the best tasting thing in the world, and that like what?
No, but there's a fear around that because of the fact that they probably know they're going to eat more than one serving,
right?
And so
fear-based.
Halo Top has fed into that fear, so to speak, because there's nothing nutritionally beneficial of this at all. You're still just kind of eating nothing, really.
Right.
But they that's how they tout it. Like, our whole pint has 400 calories. Right. 400 calories that will make you have severe diarrhea. Have fun with that.
Right.
Because of all the sugar, alcohol, unfortunately.
Well, and likely
that's
eat something
there.
after.
Well, and people could eat something after because, I don't know. And that's, there's the other thing too is like, do you want to spend 400 calories on chemicals, or do you want to spend 400 calories on, when you really think about it, it could be a whole serving. Some ice creams could be a full serving and a half.
You could have 2 Snickers bar for that.
Yeah, I mean, what would provide you with more thorough
nutrition, but also just mental
satisfaction in general.
Yeah.
So I mean, if your allotment, or whatever, if your thing is around 400 calories, what can you give yourself for that?
Yeah, that's like bakery.
You can do a lot of different things
you
with
can make
that.
A hot fudge sundae.
Right, that might be more satisfying in general, and I think that's kind of what we're coming down to with that.
One thing I do want to point out, and I don't know if you know the answer. I don't know the answer to this, but Halo Top, is it on the label? Have you ever looked close enough to notice? Is it recognized as ice cream, or is it
That's a good
frozen
question.
Or is it frozen treat? So there is a really, really well-known ice cream manufacturer, Breyers, which I really like. I think it's really good. And when you look closely, and here's some, food science information for all of you. When you look closely, you'll notice that some of their containers say ice cream.
Yeah.
Some of them say frozen ice treat.
Yes, they do. Yeah.
The reason that is not because it's not a good product or a quote-unquote fake product. It's because there are regulations as to how much air and how much fat have to be present in something to be called ice cream.
Right.
So I just want to point that out for anyone who looks at containers.
Well, and the other thing too that they cater to is, they have a dairy version, they have a non-dairy version, they have a keto version.
Oh my God.
They have all of these versions, and here they even call it...
What is a keto version? Ice?
Oh, well, that's the problem. So the keto one in particular is the one with the most bananas in it, and I don't mean real bananas. I mean, it's the one with the most sugar alcohols, hands down. So, okay. So this is so outrageous.
Do we know is it called ice cream?
So this particular one doesn't even have a title.
Okay. So they pour liquid in container.
Yes, they are calling it ice cream because the first ingredient is skim milk, but there's an asterisk behind it that doesn't have an explanation, which is also quite interesting.
That should be a red flag.
That's right. So they do have cream in this, though, which is great. They have inulin, which inulin is a really harsh fiber. It's a really, really harsh fiber, so that alone can cause some GI distress. They have glycerin in it. Glycerin is another type of an ingredient that creates kind of a shiny look. And if you think about the substance, it's slippery. So it creates the sense of slippery ness in your mouth, basically. Again, does real ice cream have glycerin in it? No. Because real ice cream already has...
Right. Real ice cream is... milk, cream, sugar.
And then the erythritol comes in. Then all the gums come in. Then all of these flavors come in. Then there's chicory root in there, which is another really harsh fiber. And then there's also, of course, milk protein isolate in there as well. So that's their keto, quote-unquote, version to it. So the thing about this that I really have to point out is that they're even telling you an actual serving is still only 2/3 cup. Do you know how tiny 2/3 cup is? Tiny.
Tiny, yeah.
If someone wants to sit down to this whole container, which has 3 servings in it, you're looking at close to 500 calories in there. You're looking at 27 solid grams of sugar alcohol.
Oh my God.
That will literally leave you in the restroom for days. Usually,
you know what it was? It was probably something else they ate.
Oh, right, of course. So this is it's just something to kind of be aware of.
Wow.
So even just a simple serving has 9 grams of sugar alcohol.
That's a lot.
Most people's quote-unquote threshold where they don't have any GI discomfort, I'm talking about gas, I'm talking about bloating,
cramps.
anything like that. We're talking usually people's thresholds are about 5 grams a day.
Right.
For sure a sitting, and for sure a sitting that's about 8 hours apart. And I really mean that. I'm not being sarcastic. No. The stuff is really harsh on your system. Oh, and they throw stevia leaf in there too, which drives me crazy. I'm actually a fan of stevia leaf, but when you have sugar, alcohol, and on top of all of this other stuff, why do you need stevia leaf in there? You don't. This is the other piece of it. So again, science experiment, when you really break down what you're actually eating, I can't drink milk personally. I would rather put a cup, it says the first ingredient is a cup of skim milk. I would probably
with a special asterisk there.
Right. So we don't even know what that means.
What does that mean?
But I would rather take a cup of skim milk and throw hot fudge in there, whip it up and freeze it for an hour and call that ice cream. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, that's what I would rather do.
I would too.
And so even like these dairy-free versions.
So how much fat is in them? Because on a regular one, what are you noticing for fat on just a regular one?
So even if we just look at a regular one.
And so I just want to see if is it called ice cream?
So you'll notice that a lot of these are... This one is called light ice cream, I think. Yeah, they call this one light ice cream. So this particular one has about 3 grams of fat per serving, which is actually pretty decent. It still has sugar alcohols in it. It still has...
God, that list of ingredients
is huge.
Is
unbelievable. And again, look at that. Erythritol is like right there.
And that generally, if you're going to have sugar alcohols, that should be like the last ingredient.
Right.
Then it's probably...
Should be like a smidge, because it also has a terrible aftertaste,
it does.
too. Anyway, I think what it is, just bringing awareness to the table, like, let yourself have real ice cream. Eat it slow, have a serving, or have, again, if this silly Halo Top is 350 calories per pint, find a 350 calorie serving of real ice cream that you actually want to have.
Right. And work with someone on exposure work if you don't feel like you can have it in your home or whatever.
Exactly.
Really quick.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the powdered peanut butter?
Okay, so it's slightly mixed. First, it doesn't taste like peanut butter.
No.
But I do find that if people want to add that for extra protein, say in a shake, without having protein powder or what have you, I think that that's kind of nice. I would also say mix it with real peanut butter, though.
Okay.
So that would be my kind of thing. I mean, for me, there's no way I'm replacing my real peanut butter with powdered peanut butter.
Right.
No way would I do that.
Yeah. I don't
know. But it can be a nice flavor enhancer.
Ability to do that, though.
Sure. To do what?
To not see regular good peanut butter as bad when they have a powdered peanut butter in their pantry.
I hope we're not seeing peanut butter as bad because it's so good. It's so good for you. I mean, real peanut butter, peanuts and salt, period.
Well, let's maybe Skippy's okay.
Boy, we are going to have a difference of opinion on that one.
It's not okay. It just tastes good.
It's dessert. It's not real peanut butter.
So good.
Yeah.
Okay. I just was curious on that because that was another one of those diet foods that you see, and it's just like, well,
something that'd be considered a diet. But
again,
food.
I also wonder, are people just so all or nothing that we cannot find the balance with any of these things?
That's just it too.
Yeah. Can these foods exist in everyone's daily intake or weekly or monthly intake?
Absolutely.
But I just don't know if people can live anymore without being black and white and all or nothing.
That's right.
I just don't think we're being taught anymore how to live in balance.
Right.
And how to, treat things as helpful to our body and also...
Right.
But this is good and I like it and I can use all of these things.
Right.
So...
Because again, like what we're talking about too with some of these diet foods, it's like, how many of those show up in your day? I think that's what we're kind of talking about too. And do you want to have all of these extra kind of nonsense ingredients happening so much in your day? And the only reason why we say that is because that takes away from actual nutrition that you could be receiving that actually speaks to your cells the way they need to be, taken care of basically, and filling you up in a way that is intended.
Well, and you can get actual nutrition from real ice cream.
Well, right. That's the thing too.
Very clear. We're not saying go and have fruit.
Calcium, magnesium.
But you can get nutrition from all types of foods. And when you start to modify them to the degree that we do, now it becomes something else. And
it does become something else.
You're not getting everything that you potentially need.
Right. And that's essentially what we're trying to say.
Right.
So.
Okay.
Anyway, sound off on this one, guys. We are out. Bye.
Have questions you want to hear discussed on the show? Find us on Facebook or visit BetweenTwoPastries.com and drop us a line. Want to support the show? Find us on Patreon for exclusive content. If you love the show, find us on iTunes or your favorite podcast platform. Hit the subscribe button and leave us a review.